Hey guys, Katie Shelton here with our final segment of making content visually appealing. Today I want to introduce to you Canva. Canva is probably the tool that I utilize most in my classroom. I absolutely love it. It's very intuitive and easy to use. So what you'll see here is my home screen. And if I scroll up and down, you'll see all sorts of designs you can create, as well as my designs that I have previously created. As I mentioned, this is very intuitive. It's very easy to use. I am self-taught, and I am confident that you can teach yourself all sorts of tools and tricks of the trade as well. So what I'd like to do is show you some of the things that I really have learned in the couple of years since I've been using Canva, and give you an opportunity to use Canva in your own classrooms. So if you look on the left side here, you'll notice that there's all sorts of templates that you can use. I almost always start with a template. I love it because they're designed by graphic designers themselves. And so they're obviously people who are in the know in terms of graphic design. And I really feel like that adds a lot to the presentations that I give in my classroom. You'll notice, as I mentioned at the introductory video, that I have been doing a lot of work in Canva. You'll see that some of my things, such as my syllabus, my grading, my electronic etiquette, and my safety guidelines, I just updated last night. So those are ready to go for this year. I'm working on a welcome message to put in my Google site. I talked to you about the fact that I'm using menus in my classroom this year, so you'll see that I've been working along at some different menus. I mentioned before that I use this for e-learning, and I've also used it for some personal things that you can see as well, such as for my daughter's volleyball, basketball team, and I've made all of the Pride posters, things like that, as well as all of the information that I have used for this stuff here is my environmental science class. So lots of different buttons, tools. You can create just about anything with Canva. So let's get started and create something new. I was thinking that one of the things I'd like to create would be an infographic or a poster of sorts to use to introduce my students back into the classroom with the new coronavirus guidelines. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go to recommended for you, and I'm simply going to search something called an infographic. Infographics are seriously probably my favorite thing. My students use these to do their vocabulary their academic vocabulary in our classrooms. So I utilize infographics. My students use infographics as well. As I've mentioned, these are all sorts of templates. I like to start with a template, and I oftentimes change the colors in the template so that they match what it is that I'm trying to achieve. But you'll see that, like my syllabus, some different things were made of this syllabus, of this particular infographic. For this particular activity, what I was thinking, well, the one that I had used, I'm not seeing right now, but I'm going to go find it here. I had done a little research. Here it is before starting. So we're going to use this template. All I have to do is double click on it and select it with my trackpad. The first thing that I always like to do, as with anything that I am creating, I like to change the name so that it's easy for me to find when I am going to edit it or make changes. So I'm simply going to go up to this bar at the top, and I'm going to change it to Corona guidelines. Corona, let's say classroom guidelines. All right, now we're ready to begin editing. Underneath where I am, and I'm going to move this here, so let me pause the video for just a moment. All right, so underneath where I was right here is a button that I find very helpful. I like to zoom in to about 75% so that I can see my work. Time is running out, so I will come back and pick up right where I'm at. But I'm going to go ahead, and as I mentioned, it's very intuitive. Click backspace, and you can put in your own wording. So this is where I'll pick up here in just a moment. Stay tuned.